Hiya guys, and welcome back to Aid's Workshop. I've got my jacket on, I've only just come in and it's quite cold out. I've got the heater running but it takes a while to warm up, so it's still a bit chilly in here, even though I do have a sort of background heater on in here 24/7 at this time of year. Anyway, I'm recording this in the normal format as I always do on my original camcorder or video recorder, and I do have a new one. So what I'm going to do is set that up. Big difference is it's got a facility for an external microphone. So I have got a Bluetooth microphone, so a little lapel mic and what have you that'll connect to the camera. So I'm going to try that out and I'll carry on in a moment using the new kit, and let's see if it makes any difference. Certainly on the sound, I would have thought. Okay, so we're going to try this. Not used to wearing a little microphone. Anyway, let's see if the sound is any better, guys. So as we said, and I hope this all comes out. What have I done with it? There we are. I think what we're going to do is make these T-nuts, and I've got this 20mm square bar, which is EN8, which I've mentioned before. So we're going to cut a chunk of this off and make perhaps, I don't know, half a dozen, 6 or 8 T-nuts on the mill. So I'll work out how long a piece I need to cut. I'll probably hacksaw it off. In fact, I think I can use the grinder and cut a chunk off that I need. And we'll start machining this bit of bar to make some decent T-nuts. So, as I said, this is an experiment. It might be all garbled, I might have no sound at all, but let's see how it turns out, eh? So I've had a look at that footage that I've done so far, and it's not my best work. Okay, and obviously the microphone experiment was awful. So I am on the new camera now, and my picture quality is so much better. I've reviewed it on my laptop, when I downloaded the files. So we're sticking with the new camera as far as footage is concerned, but we won't be using the new mic. And I have actually ordered a decent set of lapel microphones, a Rode set, and I've got a link, or I've got a heads up going on for a proper microphone for the top of the camera as well, so we should be able to, going forward, get the sound quality a bit better. So yeah, we started making the T-nuts, and the reason was I was expecting a slate to arrive, and when it arrived it did bring me what I wanted, so I must have been on the good list and not the naughty list. And it's basically it's from Archero Trade, and you see me all the time. Oh, it'd be alright if I could get into the box. You see me all the time using the clamp set on the mill, and it's the correct clamp set for the mill, which is the 10mm bolts with the 12mm T-nuts. So what I've actually asked for, and was fortunate enough to get, was a new clamp set from the big fella. And this is the 8mm variation. So the reason I'm making the new T-nuts is because the 8mm variation, the T-nuts are too small for my table, but it will take all the studs, all the bolts are in here. And I think it'll come in handy for those times when you need a smaller clamp set, which is quite often. So we're going to go for the smaller clamps. What I'm quite shocked at, actually, and I was expecting, is that the slots in the clamps are actually quite large, much bigger than they need to be. But yeah, not much I can do about that. So yeah, the 8mm clamp set is just, when I'm holding smaller stuff, it's a bit more in proportion. So that's why we're making these T-nuts. Another thing that turned up, I realised I use a wobble pin far too often, and I'm not clocking stuff up. I have got the designs and drawings to make one of these. The Stefan got a splinter one to make the little clamp. So I have got the little DTI holder for a lever clock for actually physically picking up on blocks. So you will see me using a clock to pick up the centre of things a lot more often. Now I've got that, it's a bit more convenient. So that'll be going in the drawer, and we're going to get on with the milling. So a piece of bar in the vise. I've decided I'm going to hacksaw it off. It's only 20mm square. So let's have a look. Existing T-nut. Let's see how wide it is. My rule is now back where it should be, so I haven't got to go searching for it. These T-nuts are 20mm each. So if I do a piece, what realistically can I do in one hit? Probably, I cut off a piece about 150mm long. We'll see how we get on with that. Yeah, that'll do it. fact, if I cut it off somewhere near the vise there, we're going to be close enough. So, I'm sure you don't want to watch me hacksawing, so I'll cut the video about here, but I'm just going to chomp a piece of this bar off. So I've just had a look at one of the existing T-nuts, and I like the width of the shoe, or the base on it. You know, it's got, I don't know, a little bit to play with. So yeah, 18 millimeters. So this is 20 mil at the moment, so I'm going to take a mil off this side, mil off the other side. That should stop it going like a banana. So I don't know whether I've shown this. I got this 3/16 Allen key. It's a Bondus. Yeah, it's a bit better than where is it? The original, I was just using a standard 3/16 Allen key, but I bought this one. Obviously you don't have to neck down on this vise, but it's got a bit more of a swivel, so I got a bit more of a sort of quick action going on, and then I can just lock the vise off. So that's a new little addition. So just knock that down on a couple of parallels. We're down, and I keep that on the mill basically. Just send it back the other way, take that little lip off. That's a mill off that face. There's very much roughing out at this stage. Okay. That's a mill off there. Let's just get the swap out. Pull her out the vise. I'm going to take it to my bench vise now, out of shot, deburr that side. Right, okay, so with that face back in, now it was good square stock this anyway, so I'm now back in the vise. Down nice and tight. Okay, so another half mil. And we'll take a mil off this space. If there's any stresses in that, you're taking the same off both sides, you've got a better chance of staying flat. The cutter certainly does a good job of eating metal. As much as you'd call that, eating metal when it's only a little mill like this, but yeah, the material removal is really good. Okay, so we've got 90 degrees round now. I'm going to take a mill off this space. We're just getting it to the nominal outside sizes. Cutter's covering it in one hit now because it's only 18 mil wide now. So we're on the last side now. Just going to get one of my original T-nuts, which I have got one lurking here somewhere. No, I haven't. Yes, I have. And we're actually going to measure up and see what size we're looking for. We would if I could find my calipers. It's the trouble, I've come back in the shed after not being in here and I don't remember where I put things. I've got to be more organised. I think maybe a New Year's resolution is to get everything to hand before I start a shot on video. I'll be back. Okay, so I've just a little measure. There's 0.48 left. So I'll take that off as one final cut on the second side. Okay. I've got you zoomed in quite close. Okay, Still getting used to this new camera, guys, so bear with me if it's not the usual sort of stuff going on. Yeah, I think I can probably zoom in on that. We lose focus there. So that should bring me down to 18 by 13, which is where we wanted to be. I'm going to have to sort out some different parallels to pack it up in the vise, I think. Not quite high enough as we stand. So I've gone down to a depth of 6.5, and I'm stepping in 1/2 mil at a time from either way. So I'm down to 13.5 now. Do both sides, this side then round the other side, using the same offsets from 0 until I get to my sort of, I'll get to 12.5 and I'll have a measure up. So I'll let this cut run out, step over the other side, show you what I'm doing. But yeah, just 1/2 mil at a time. Put a little bit of coolant on there. So it's going to be one great big long T-nut. When I get to the final cut, I'll just step down the last 1/2 mil to give me the 7 mil step. So we're nearly at the end. So that's a 13.5 reading, offset from centre. Okay, over the other side to 13.5, do the same again. As I say, when we get down to 12.3, maybe 12.5, I'll have a measure. See what the remaining amount to come off is, divided by 2, and that'll be the extra amount to cut. So finishing cut. I've just checked it, there was 0.1 aside to come off. Just taken that, and that's the second side with the 0.1. Just needing a bit of coolant off the brush. To the cutter, not generating a great deal of heat with a 0.1 cut. God, it's rattling on the top of the mill here. Put my hand against it. Whoop. Nearly lost the camera then. And it's the new camera. So I can cut them up with a grinder, I deburr them, and I'll just put them back up, holding them, as you can see, upside down, and I'll just flash one face. So I managed to get 6 like this out of that piece of bar. We'll need a bit more of that one. Okay, and I've got one longer one. I'm going to put 2 M8 holes in that. You never know when you might want to clamp something and have another stud close by for jacking up the heel of a clamp or something like that. So I'm going to put 2 tapped holes in the long one. So that's one end of all the short ones. I will do the long one now while I'm at it. Which end did I deburr? That end. Deburred end in the vise. No point in deburring an end you're about the machine that's hanging in fresh air. So I deburred one end of all of them. With an idea that the other end can just hang out in fresh air. Get machined and then be deburred. Is that cleaned up? Maybe a touch more. Tried to hold the grinder as square as I could. Just scribed a line and went outside it. Tried to hold it, you know, as square as I can. Left myself a mil or two over length. So this one's a one-off. I think I'll just grab a needle file quick. Deburr that end I've just machined. Or certainly deburr the bit that's going to be in the vise. Okay, so I can spin that one now. I'm not worried about what length it is, I just want to clean it up. Okay. A touch more. Maybe taking half a mil to clean these up. As I said, I did try and hold the grinder square when I chopped them up. Yeah, so that's that larger one done. So what I'm going to do now is deburr all the small ones off camera. Yeah, deburr them all this end. Put them back up in the vise, maybe set the finger stop up to put them against, and then I'll pick the shortest one, machine that to size, and then do all the others to the same reading. So as you can see, I got my stop, set up against the back, put them in the other way round. That looks a little bit close, let's have a look. Machine face I did first is against the stop pin. And oh, I think that's the first one done, so I'll just set a 0 in X on my DRO and I'll do them all that size. So just show you the swap over. One out, I have deburred one more here. Next one in, against the stop. Tighten the vise, and that's the next one. So the first one I did there was the shortest, so I'll just come off a couple of mil. This was the longest one and it's just over 1.5 mil left on. So I just set the block up on the centre of the spindle again, centre of the block, and we're just going to centre drill them all. When I come to tap them, I'll tap them from the other side, and I want to sort of partially blind tap them. So I use the first tap, and I'll tap through, taper tap I should say. I'll tap through to a point where the stud will screw in, you know, 90% of the way, but it won't screw out the back because it won't be tapped deep enough, because yeah, we don't want it coming out the back. Okay, so that's the last one drilled. So we've got to tap them now. I think I'm going to hand tap these. I've just tapped the first one, and that's as far as the stud goes through. So I'm going to pop the tap back in, put a bit of tape on it so I know how deep for the tap to go into the nuts, them all being the same height, and we should be good. I don't want the tap going any, the stud going any deeper than that. So happy days. Need to deburr these, but a little bit of muck in there. That's tight. And yeah, certainly not going all the way through. So it's nothing fancy, it's a T-nut, but yeah, bits. So next step, give them a deburr and perhaps some chemical blue. So, new camera. As I said, I haven't shown it, but it's one of these. Panasonic HDC-TM350. Does loads of stuff that the original camera doesn't do. It's not 4K or anything like that, but then I only upload in 720p. Occasionally 1080, but that takes forever and a day to upload. Just to give you a bit of a feel for it, a 30-minute video takes about 2.5 hours to upload to YouTube with the state of the broadband that I've got at present. So yeah, so you know, 720, about 2.5 hours. If I put it to 1080, well, I'm gonna have to leave it overnight. But that's the new camera, guys. Yeah, it's a lot better than the old one. Much bigger lens, Leica lens, all the rest of it. Yeah, it's again Panasonic. It's got everything I want. It's got the hot shoe, all the rest of it for sticking the mic on. There's a mic socket hiding under here. Does everything that I need it to do and more. Oops, that shouldn't be open. But yeah, it's got all the facilities I'm likely to need going forward for certainly the next couple of years. So we'll give them a quick degrease, let that evaporate away, and then we're ready to dunk into the chemical blue. So we drop them in the fluid. Yeah, let's give them 10 or 15 minutes. If they don't cook the first time, they get rubbed over with a bit of 00 wire wool and get chucked back in again. So I was reviewing a bit of the video that I've been taking, and I could hear a vibration when I was traversing back and forth. And I've sussed out what it is. It's this handle. Look. It's a rattling in this handle. Yeah, it's not the nicest of handles. It's a standard Walco one. I've never got round to making some bespoke ones. But I think what I need to do is take the shoulder back bolt length back, so that it hasn't got that backlash in it, and that might help. So I'll whip to the lathe while my parts were there. You can see the blue tank going on here. Well, my parts are blackening or bluing. Pull that out, and I'm going to skim. Well, I'll probably try and guess. I'm going to take 1/2 mil off it and see how that does. So, up to the lathe. Just get in that corner somewhere. That's a touch. That's a touch. Set a 0. So let's have 1/2 mil. There. I reckon it's going to need a bit more. I'll go 0.75. Okay. So I'm going to pull that out now. Just have a look at it in the collar. That's just stuck out. I don't know whether you can see it's just stuck out the tiniest of bits. So we'll try that. See if we can get rid of that racket. Right, let's give this a try. I'd call that a success. Oh well. Just tiny little jobs, little bits of maintenance, got to be done all the time. So I've rinsed them off in some fresh water. And we just chuck them now in some just straightforward oil. It's any grade, as long as it's oil. It's my general purpose workshop oil. We'll leave them in there for 10 minutes. Pull them out, give them a wipe off, get rid of the excess, and that's them blued. I'll show you the end result. There we are, guys, a random selection of tea nuts. Not my finest work, but certainly fit for purpose. Yeah, I mean, they're M8 in the 12mm tea nuts. They work very nicely. They do exactly what they're supposed to do. So, yeah, I got this area here on the wall. What should we call it? Well, proper mess is what we'll call it. I'm thinking it's far enough away from the mill and high enough up that if I clear out everything that's there now, and we'll move the 2 clamp sets onto that wall, which is sort of more convenient for the mill. I'll show you where the original clamp set was. Basically, if I turn around from the mill 180 degrees and look back at the wall there, that's where the clamp set is, up on the wall there. Now, it is convenient, but I think we're going to free up that bit of wall there and do a bit of jiggery and pokery and move things around a bit. That looks a bit neater. I think I need to sort out those odd wires that are lurking around there. And yeah, we got a lot better area. Only one problem. Now what do I do with this lot? Okay, so we'll think of something. But oh, just a thought. I got the 6 tea nuts. The new ones I made are in here, and the long one. And I've got the smaller ones that fit, you know, a 10mm slot with 8mm bolt. I'm wondering if these can be modified to fit my rotary table. Because the ones I've got for the rotary table are appalling, I think is the word. So, yeah, let's have a look at that at some point. Just dug my rotary table out. Yeah, I know, I put it away a bit grubby. But yeah, would you believe that? The nuts, although they're a little bit sloppy, but they're certainly better than the rubbish ones that come with it in the little kit. So yeah, I've got some tea nuts for the rotary table, so that's handy. So we had a bit of a reshuffle by there, and the old shelf that was on the other side is now on this side, all cleaned up. I just had to move that little set of organisers, the red ones, up high from where it was, where the white shelf is now. And yeah, so I've now got rid of all the junk off the bench on the other side. Happy days. Yeah, we're starting to get back to somewhere near organised. Isn't it great to have a bit of time off work where you can do all those odd jobs you've been meaning to do? So, by the time we brought this one to an end, just a little update. My new microphone arrived, so those horrible noises, I hope, won't be a thing going forward. So basically got, it fits in the shoe here, Rode receiver for a little Rode mic. Plugs into the camera. As you can see, I'm on the old camera now, but this is the new one. We did film most of this with a new one, and apologies for the focus issues that we had from time to time. I haven't tried this mic out yet, but yeah, simply, well, I don't know, I'm not really wearing the right sort of shirt, but it simply hooks on, and obviously I can record on the fly and I'm not attached to the camera. So yeah, we'll be giving that a try going forward. You'll probably find out how I get on. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing, and we'll see you all very soon. Cheers now.